I love this. More positive news has been coming out about Jermaine Burton, including praise from the locker room and the improvements he's been putting forth in this offseason. We're going to discuss what he had to say and why he is wanting to get better and contribute to this team for the upcoming season. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman with Bengals Digest. So glad to see you and drop by. And if you want to be up to date on all the breaking news as they come out, be sure to smash that subscribe button. If you are not already, you could be a part of the 76% watching this video right now and not already subscribed. We appreciate you so much to be a part of the community. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. So we want you to join in, hear your voice and what you think of the Bengals going into this upcoming season. So the praise has continued to go forward on Jermaine Burton. There's a lot of hype building, and for good reason. We're going to discuss why there's so much news surrounding this one player. This is a person that has had his issues in the offseason, unfortunately, anywhere from a domestic dispute to an eviction. Those types of things just, talk about immaturity, trying to grow into a person in general, but obviously someone that can contribute on the field. But there's been a lot of positives. There's been a lot of interviews with players in the locker rooms, one such as Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow. T. Higgins has even come out and said he is positive on what he is seeing. He's excited for Burton. It feels like he's recognizing the changes he needs to make. And that's what you want to hear as a fan, because he has so much talent. He has so much ability to contribute to this already top-notch offense. We've talked about it and praised how Joe Burrow, again, top quarterback in the league. You have Jamar Chase, you have T. Higgins. Why not get as many weapons as possible? Just make that offense as unstoppable as possible. The hurdle that's going to be for Jermaine Burton is, can he get out of his own way? Can he get things to where they need to be? Well, he said as much recently. They interviewed Burton directly, and it's at least a positive. We want to see it in action. We can't take person for their words until we see it for ourselves, but it's still encouraging to see. This is what Burton had to say. It's all about being a professional and coming up with better habits and just continuing to be consistent. Being consistent is the number one thing, no matter what you do professionally, whatever your job is. And I feel that that's one thing I lacked last year. I'm in a really good headspace right now. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back around my guys and happy to still be learning my guys and building better relationships with them. I honestly couldn't be happier. So I really love this. I really think this is exactly the mindset Burton needs to have. Again, we can take it at face value. This is what he's saying. He needs to put that into action. But that's still encouraging to see. Everything he is saying right here, he needs to be more professional. He needs to have good habits. I think, honestly, that is one thing that got him in trouble when it comes to off-field things, not surrounding himself with people like Joe Burrow and your Jamar Chase and T. Higgins who have those habits. It felt like he kind of strayed from them. As much as they kept wanting to bring him in and mentor him in a way and let him learn from them, it felt like he wasn't taking it to heart. He was missing practices. He was sleeping in. Those were some reports last year. Those are things you want to hear. Period. No team wants players like that on their team. There's no place for that. So to hear him say, I need to have better habits, I need to view it professionally. Well, he's got these guys to look to. He's got Joe Burrow. He's got Jamar Chase. He's got T. Higgins. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so why is there so much hype over this guy? For how much trouble he's been, how much of a headache he was last year, being inactive when T. Higgins was injured, and he was supposed to be the guy. But because he was missing practices, they made him inactive. Well, we go back to just his college days. This is just a sample size of his potential because he's got a high ceiling. There's so much we can say. Again, it comes down to, can he get out of his own way? But you can't deny the stats at Alabama when he was in college, averaging nearly 20 yards per catch. That's a weapon. That is an absolute weapon. You're talking, again, the Bengals have them. They've got Jamar Chase. They've got T. Higgins. They've got Mike Gesicki. Chase Brown out of the backfield. But you add in this other element as a defense. What do you do if you're tasked with defending guys like your Burton? If Burton comes out and puts it together, this guy is just going to be a weapon. He's going to be that deep threat, that guy they can go to take the top off of the defenses. I mean, what do? You've got so many weapons, and to add this guy in there, that's just going to be a nightmare for guys to be. When he was at Alabama, that's the type of player he was, though. He can just really be that just nightmare for defenses. Factor in all the other weapons that the Bengals have. But another thing that we want to keep in mind when it comes to Burton is he's got those in the locker room that can help him, but one specifically, he actually came out and said has been a mentor, because they were asking him questions, trying to see if there's anyone specifically. It feels like everyone's been encouraging him and coming out to the interviews and saying just as much, but there's one player specifically. That was BJ Hill. He actually mentioned him by name. He said, he's one of the guys I talk with a lot, joke around with a lot of the day. He knows my potential, and I look at him as a mentor right there. So this guy, again, he's got this potential to be such a weapon for the Bengals. Having someone like BJ Hill in that locker room, this is awesome to hear. I'm a big BJ Hill fan. I think he has been that guy. He seemed like he was a big help to Joseph Ossai back when he had that rough play with Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs where it was the late hit and it set up the game winner for the Chiefs. You got to feel that as a young player like Joseph Ossai, that was a mistake, but BJ Hill was that guy in the locker room defending him, saying, we're going to make mistakes, but he's owning up to it. So that encourages me. I love to hear BJ Hill is the guy trying to help Burton get things sorted out. You got to have those mentors as a young player, just in general, let alone someone like Burton that's got his issues off the field. And that's what Burton even said so himself is that he considers him that mentor. So that's encouraging to hear. That's something you love to hear, is he is taking this seriously. But what did BJ Hill say? Because they also interviewed him as well. He had to say, it just comes down to checking on people because you don't know what they're going through. Most people don't know what he was really going through. Probably just a little part of it, right? Don't just throw assumptions out there. Talking to people and actually getting to know them can go a long way. So, however you feel about the comments, how you feel about Burton, what happened, that is a positive to look at. Get to know people. Be encouraging to them if they're really trying. And it sounds like Burton is trying. He wants to be that player that's going to help this team and get things sorted out. Sure, that's going to be his own things he's got to sort through. He's got to get it worked out, not just on the field, getting the practice and the reps in, but in life in general. And to have someone like BJ Hill in his corner, along with all the players, it continues to grow out. There was another report from T. Higgins saying that he's been encouraged seeing what Burton has been doing, showing up. He's taking it more professionally, Burton's words exactly. So I love this. I'm hoping that he can pull it through. If anything, he's going to give competition to the rest of that wide receivers room. And we know that competition, that just elevates players. Having someone that you got to look over your shoulder about. If Burton is trying to get that number 3 position, and we've talked about in other videos, Yoshivash is kind of that number 3 right now. It's really his position to lose. Burton's right there. That's going to push not only himself, but Yoshivash and all the other wide receivers in the room. So we'll have to wait and see how this develops. Again, I love the comments. I love the positives. I still am going to be that. I hope that it gets put together and we see it on the field, obviously. But so far, it's encouraging to see. I'm really anticipating what we're going to see in camp, what we're going to see in the preseason, if he's able to put this together, because if so, look out. This is going to be such an electric offense, let alone put in Burton there. Let's go. This is going to be so exciting to see. But we want to hear from you. Do you think these comments have you encouraged on what this Bengals offense can do with him on the field? Or do you think that this is just that base value? Maybe this are just words. We're going to have to wait and see. We want to hear from you. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts and any other thoughts you think of this upcoming season. We have mini camp, we have training camp, and the preseason right around the corner. It keeps coming up quickly. So voice your thoughts below. And again, if you have not already, smash that subscribe button to be all up to date on our new videos as they drop. That's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Uday.